Welcome to the Connect with BMC Helix webinar series. During today's event, you'll be able to ask questions of our panelists. The questions and answers along with today's broadcast will be published to our YouTube channel. Today's topic is Discovery Reporting Query Best Practices, Part 2. And Vaibhav Singh will take us through this content. Over to you, Vaibhav.
Thank you, Greg. Hello, everyone. My name is Vaibhav Singh. I have been working as support engineer in BMC customer support for 5 years now. I'm specialized in discovery issues, Helix discovery issues, as well as integration issues with discovery and other products. In the first part of Discovery Reporting Query Best Practices webinar, we saw how to write queries to query discovered data. Today, we will see how to create and utilize discovery reports and dashboards. Most of the concept that we discuss today will be applicable to both discovery as well as Helix discovery. Here is our agenda for today. We will briefly talk about what BMC Discovery does, and then we will start with our main topic for today, that is reporting best practices. We will also discuss the steps to troubleshoot some common issues and some references to this topic. Let's see what BMC Discovery does. BMC Discovery is an agentless data center discovery solution that automatically discovers data center assets like servers, network devices, storage system, etc. It also discovers configuration and relationship data and provide ways to model your business applications. BMC Discovery stores the discovered data in its own built-in data store. The discovered data can be viewed using the Generic Query feature, reports, and dashboards. BMC Discovery includes several predefined reports. These are located under Explore Reports section in the Discovery UI. These reports operate in the same way as the query search. When you select a report, a query is run to find the matching objects. Let's have a demo to see where to find predefined reports. We will review a few reports and see their outputs. Log into the BMC Discovery UI. Once logged in, click on Explore, then click on Reports. Here you can find all the predefined reports that are available in BMC Discovery. These reports are grouped based on their category. In the first category, Discovery Operation, you can find reports like failing host endpoint, summary of last host access, etc. These are the reports that Discovery admin can use to see how the scan progress is happening. For example, if we open the first report, failing host endpoints, it is going to give us the list of hosts which were successfully scanned in the past, but in the recent scan, those are failing. Based on this report, Discovery admin can take the action and troubleshoot why these servers are not getting scanned anymore. Let's close this and go back to the report page again. Let's have a look at the infrastructure category. In the infrastructure category report, we will get reports related to host, blade enclosure, and management controller. Let's open one of the report, host vendor distribution, to see what kind of details we are getting. As you can see, it's a pie chart, and in this chart we can see different vendors and the number of hosts that belongs to these vendors. You can scroll down here and change the chart type from pie chart to, let's say, bar chart or column chart. Let's close this and go back to the report page again. Now let's have a look to the category operating system, which is here. In the operating system category, we have different reports. Let's have a look at few of them. Let's open host OS classification, Unix version distribution, and Windows version distribution. Let's look at these reports. So in the host OS classification, again, this is a pie chart where we can see the different operating system and the number of hosts which are running these operating system. For example, we can see 124 hosts are having Unix type of operating system, 17 hosts are having Windows type of operating system, and there are other type of operating system on 24 hosts. To see what are those other type of operating system, let's click on this part of the pie chart, and here we can see all those 24 hosts which are not running Unix or Windows operating system. For example, you can see the operating system here is VMware ESXi, VMware vCenter Appliance. If you need to make further changes in this report, you can click on this customize section and this will open the query builder. In the first part of this webinar series, we talked about how to use query builder to modify your query for adding or removing details from out of the box query output. Let's look at the other report from operating system category. Unix version distribution. Here we can see all different flavors of Unix operating system. For example, we can see some CentOS, some Red Hat, and then we can also see the number of hosts on which these operating systems are running. Similarly, let's have a look at the Windows version distribution. Here we can see all the Windows Server versions along with the number of hosts on which those are running. Let's close all these reports and go back to the report page again. Let's have a look to one more category, that is software. In the software, we will get reports related to the software instance node. Let's open one of those, for example, software details by category. Here we get the drop-down option to select the category of the software. For example, let's select virtual machine software and then run this report. And we are getting all the virtual machine software that are discovered, for example, VMware tools. This concludes the demo on predefined reports. Now let's talk about channels. Channels are small, self-contained piece of content that are displayed on various pages throughout the BMC Discovery UI. These are used for creating user-defined dashboards. There are a variety of content that are available for use in channels. For example, you can configure video content, reports, charts, web feeds, etc. within a channel. Predefined channels are located under Administration Channels page in Discovery UI. Just like reports, Discovery provides predefined dashboards to view various types of data, including the discovered assets. Dashboards are basically a collection of multiple channels. The available dashboard can be edited or a custom dashboard can be created as per the requirement. Let's have a demo to see where to find predefined channels and dashboards. We will review a few dashboards to see what type of details are displayed. To see the available dashboard, first you need to go to the home page on the BMC Discovery UI. To go to the home page, click on this home icon. Once you are in the home page, you will see this option available dashboard. Click on it. And here you can see all the available dashboard. Let's have a look at few of these dashboard to see what kind of details are reported. Let's start with host overview. Now, before I go ahead and talk about what kind of details are displayed here in the host overview dashboard, let's talk about what are the channels here. So in this dashboard, we can see there are 4 sections: host count over time, host by type over time, host physical virtual partition split, and host RAM distributions in GB. So there are 4 sections that are creating this dashboard. Each of these sections is actually a dedicated channel. So this is how channels can be combined, and then those will become a dashboard. Now about this dashboard host overview, you can see the first section here is talking about how the number of hosts are increasing over the period of time. The second section here is talking about not just the number of hosts, but the type of host like Unix servers, Windows servers, hypervisor, appliances, etc. How those numbers are increasing over the time. The third section here is giving us a pie chart which shows us the host count distribution based on their deployment type, whether those are physical or virtual. And the last section here shows the number of hosts based on their discovered RAM. Like if the discovered number of RAM is between 4 to 8 GB, then in our infra we have more than 40 hosts which are having that much amount of RAM. Let's change the dashboard to the operating system dashboard. So click on the available dashboard again and then select operating system. Again, we can see multiple channels here. The first channel here is host OS distribution, which is similar to what we saw in the operating system report during the predefined report demo. And this pie chart is giving us all different operating system along with the number of hosts where those are running. The second section or the second channel here is dedicated for Windows operating system with the specific version and on how many hosts those are running. The third section here is same as the operating system reports that we saw during the reports demo. And this is one of the things that I mentioned during the presentation, that channels are actually found on various pages in the BMC Discovery UI. So we can see here the operating system channel on this operating system dashboard is also available in the report section in the UI. The last section here is Unix operating system, which is just a distribution of all the Unix flavor operating system along with the number of hosts where those are found. For BMC Discovery admins, the most useful dashboard would be Discovery dashboard. So let's have a look into what kind of details are there in the Discovery dashboard. So if we go to the Discovery dashboard, the first channel that we see here is Discovery device status, and we can see the number of success, no response, transient failure. And we get an option to click on this section and right away identify how many things are not getting successfully scanned. For example, if I click on this transient failure, I can quickly see the host which seems to be having some problem during the discovery. Let's go back to the Discovery dashboard. In the below sections, we get pie charts showing us the detail about Unix access and Windows access. In these pie charts, we can see the status of all the IPs which Discovery believes they belongs to Unix or Windows servers. Based on the access, either Discovery will show that there is a credential that has been used to scan that server successfully, or it will show something like probe 57 or probe 53. And when we click on this section of the pie chart, we can find all those IPs for which discovery was not successful. In the below section, we have channels which are simply linking to reports that we saw during the report demo. If you want to make any changes on predefined or out of the box dashboard, first you would need to create a copy of it. To do that, click on available dashboard, then click on copy current dashboard, and this will create a copy of the predefined or out of the box dashboard. So you can see here copy of discovery dashboard. Now let's see how we can edit this. So just click on edit and let's give it a name, discovery dashboard custom. And let's say we want to remove some of the details which are included in the out of the box report. Let's remove the report section here, discovery diagnostic, discovery operation, and let's add something here, discovery status. Then scroll up and commit changes. Once you commit the changes, you can close this edit section, and now you can see the dashboard is updated. Those report sections are now removed from this dashboard, and we have a discovery status added to our discovery dashboards. About dashboard, keep in mind when you log in with a particular user and whatever dashboard that you select, Discovery remembers it. So next time whenever you log in again, you will directly land to the dashboard that you have selected last time. If you want to change it, you can go to the home screen, and from there you can click on available dashboard and then select a different dashboard. Now let's see where we can find all available channels. Click on the administration icon, then click on channels, and here you can see all the channels that are defined and available in BMC Discovery. This concludes the demo on predefined channels and dashboards. Now that we have discussed predefined or out-of-the-box reports, channels, and dashboard, let's see how to customize these. BMC Discovery allows us to create custom reports as per the requirement. Using these custom reports, a custom channel can be created. As I mentioned earlier, a channel contains different types of data. So if required, channels of type web, video, chart, etc. can be created. And then these channels can be used for creating a dashboard. Let's have a demo to see how to create custom reports, charts, and channels. We will also see how to add channels in a dashboard to create or edit a dashboard. For this webinar, I have created a custom dashboard named Webinar Custom Dashboard. After logging into the UI, I opened this dashboard from the available dashboard section. In a minute, I'm going to show you the step-by-step process that I followed to create this dashboard. But for now, let's see what all things I have added in this dashboard. As I mentioned earlier, dashboards are basically a collection of multiple channels. As you can see, in this dashboard, I have a total of 6 channels. The first channel here is Webinar Custom Report, which is a report channel. This channel contains 4 reports, and all these 4 reports are also custom reports. The second channel here is of type web, where we have configured a link, and this channel is pulling the web page from that link and showing us all the details. For example, in this channel, we have links to BMC communities, docs, IDEA, and BMC Support Central. The third channel here is of type chart, and it's about discovery access status. It shows whenever the last time discovery happened on IPs, what was the end result of that discovery? How many IPs were successful? How many IPs failed with error like no access, skipped, no response? The fourth chart channel here is about virtualization technology. It shows a classification of different virtualization technology. For example, here you can see we have 120 hosts from VMware and 3 hosts from Oracle VM VirtualBox. The fifth chart channel here shows a distribution of all the software vendor or publisher along with the number of softwares that belongs to them. And the last channel here, OS classification, is similar to what we saw when we talk about report demo and in the operating system dashboard. It's just a classification of different type of OS classes. Now that we have seen what all things are included in this custom dashboard, let me walk you through how I created it. To create custom reports and channels in Discovery, we first need to create a configuration file. The configuration file is simply a XML file where we will define the criteria for our reports, our charts, or different channels like web channel, chart channel, report channel, etc. I have already written the configuration XML file for this dashboard. Now I'm going to show you that configuration file from Notepad++, and I will walk you through how I created that configuration file. Here is the configuration XML file that contains configuration for all the charts, reports, and channels that we saw in our dashboard. I have divided this configuration file in 3 sections. The first section is about custom reports. The second section is about custom chart channels. And the last section is about custom web channel. When writing the configuration file for any reports or chart, or for both report and chart, the first thing that you need to specify is the XML version and the reports version. As you can see, I have added those details here. We will go through each of these sections and I'm going to explain the configuration that I've added here for custom reports, charts, and web channels. Let's start with the custom report section. In this section, we have 4 reports. Let's go through each of them one by one. The first report is about OS support details. And in this report, I want to print the support details, that is end of support and end of life for all the discovered operating systems. Now, before writing the configuration for any reports or chart, the best approach is to write a query which can provide you the details that you are expecting in your report. To create or to write the query, you can use the generic query feature or the query builder from the Discovery UI. In the first part of this webinar series, I have explained how to write a query or how to use the query builder to create a query. But just to help you understand, I'm quickly going to show you how did I create the query for the first report. Let's log into the Discovery UI again. Once logged in, click on Explore and then Data. Let's open the number of discovered hosts. And then let's open the query builder by clicking on this plus icon. From the query builder display section, let's remove the attribute that we don't need. And here, as we know that we are looking for operating system support details, let's start searching by that. And we can see here OS support details related to this host. Let's select that option. And we need end of support and end of life. Let's refresh the result. And we can see that we are getting the end of support and end of life date for the operating systems. Let's scroll up and go to the raw query. And here we can see this is our raw query. Let's copy this raw query and put this in a notepad. I've copied the raw query here. Let's quickly see what's happening in this query. We are searching a node kind of type host, and using the show clause, we are printing the name of the host, operating system of the host, and then we are doing a traversal from the host node to the support detail relationship, and from there we are picking end support date as end of support and retirement date as retirement or end of life date. Now let's go back to our configuration XML file and let's review the first custom report. To write the report configuration XML file, the first thing that we need to specify is the report name. When giving the report name, make sure that you are not using any space. After defining the report name, we have to give it a title. You can see I have given it a title Webinar OS Support Details. For all the reports and charts that I've defined here, I have added a prefix webinar. It will make things easier when we are searching for these reports charts while creating the channel and the dashboard. After defining the title, you can put something in the description to highlight what this report is about. After defining the report name, title, and description, we can use the other tags of custom reporting to specify our query and the details that we want to print in the report output. Here I'm using a few tags of the custom reports like kinds, order by, and show. A list of all available tags are documented in our documentation. Using the kind tag, I'm defining the node that my query is supposed to be searching, that is host. Using the order by tag, I'm defining a sorting order for the operating system name. And finally, using the show tag, I'm defining the attribute that I want to print in the report output, starting with the name of the host, then operating system of the host, and then the same traversal that we saw in the raw query that we just created. I'm using those to print the end of support and end of life details. And finally, I'm closing this report section. The second report is to count the software types. This report is going to show us the software type in one column and then the count of those in the second column. Let's quickly see what all things I have defined here. Just like the first report, I have defined the report name, title, and a description. Using the kind tag, I have specified the node that query is supposed to be searching. In this case, we are dealing with software instance type of node. So I have defined the software instance. Then in the show clause, I'm printing type as type. And then I'm using process width to post process the data using the function count unique. This is going to count all the unique software type and going to show the number of times they have been found during the discovery. After defining all the configuration, I'm closing this report section. The third report will provide detail about all the hosts which are successfully discovered in last 7 days. Let's quickly see what all tags I've used here. So most of the tags here are similar to what we used in report 1 and 2 with one exception. Here I'm using one more tag, that is where, to define a condition, and that condition is last update success should be greater than current time minus, and then I've converted 7 days in an interval of 100 nanosecond. This is because the current time function returned the number of 100 nanosecond since 15th October 1582. So using this logic, Discovery will show us all the hosts where last update success is greater than current time minus 7 days. Means all the hosts that are successfully discovered in last 7 days. Using the show tag, we are printing the details like name, OS, and then the last update success date as well as the age count. And finally, we are again closing this particular report. The last custom report here is quite similar to third report. In this report, we are counting all the hosts which are destroyed in last 7 days. In this report, we are using one more tag, that is flag, to include only the destroyed nodes and exclude the current or active nodes. Again, using the where clause, we are defining the condition and we are using the function destruction time, which shows us when a host is destroyed. And we are defining the condition here that the destruction time should be greater than current time minus 7 days. Using the show tag, we are printing name, OS, and the destruction time in a user-friendly format. Now let's talk about the second section of this configuration file, which is custom chart channels. Unlike the first section where we just created the custom reports and not the channels. In this second section, we are going to directly create channels of type chart. In this section, I have defined 4 chart channels. I'm going to walk you through how exactly I have created these channels. Let's start with the first chart channel, which is last discovery access status. Using this channel, I want to create a chart which is going to show me the detail of last discovery accesses. Just like custom reports, the custom charts and custom chart channels or any other channels that are available, they have their own set of tags which are documented in our documentation that we can use while creating these channels. As this is a channel of type chart, let's see what all tags I have used. Using the chart channel name tag, I have defined the name for this chart channel. Just like custom report, make sure that when you are defining the name of the chart channel, you are not adding any space. I have then added a title for it and a small description. Using the kind tag, I'm defining the node that I want to search. In this case, I want to see the status of discovery accesses. So I'm defining discovery access as the node kind. Using the where clause, I'm defining a condition to only look for the discovery accesses where underscore last underscore marker attribute is set. This attribute gets set to yes on the discovery accesses which are the latest one. The next we have a tag named split. This tag is only available for custom charts and custom chart channels. Using the split tag, we can indicate the column that needs to be converted into a chart. And here, while defining the configuration for this custom chart channel, we have defined the default type of this chart, which is pie. Using the show clause, I'm defining the attribute or detail that will be shown when a user click on the chart. Here I'm not added specific attribute, I just added summary. So whatever the summary of the discovery axis that will be shown when a user click on the chart. And finally, I'm closing this chart channel. Let's quickly talk about the other chart channels that are available in this section. The second chart channel is about OS classification. Using this chart channel, I want to display the operating system classification based on the OS class. I have defined the chart channel name, title, and description. And after that, using the kind tag, I've defined the node, that is host. Using the order by tag, I've defined a short order for the OS underscore class attribute. And just like the previous chart channel, using the split tag, I've defined the column, which is OS underscore class, to be converted in a chart. This chart type is also set to pie. Finally, using the show tag, I'm defining the attribute that will be displayed when a user click on the chart. The attributes are name of the host and then the name of the OS class. And finally, I'm closing this chart channel section. In the third chart channel, I want to display software products distribution based on their publisher type. For this, I've defined the node kind as a software instance. And as you know, for software instances, publisher details are written in the maintaining pattern. So I'm using a traversal to reach to the maintaining pattern. And from there, I'm picking the publisher's attribute. As this is the column that we want to convert into a chart, I have added this detail under the split tag. Using the show tag, I'm printing the summary of the software instances, also the name of the publisher using the same traversal relationship that is defined here. And just like other chart channels, I'm closing this chart channel section as well. The fourth chart channel is for virtualization technologies, and it will display the different virtualization platform that is found during the discovery. For this, I'm using the kind tag to define the starting point, that is host. Using the where tag, I'm saying only search for the host which are virtual. And then finally, I'm using the split tag to convert the VM underscore class column into a chart. And then I'm closing this chart channel. So far, we have seen how to create custom reports and how to create custom chart channels. Let's have a look at a different type of channel, that is a web channel, and quickly see how I have created that. So first of all, we are defining a name for our web channel, a title and a description. Using the URL tag, we are defining the URL or the web page that we want to reflect in our channel. Finally, I'm closing this web channel, and at the end, I'm closing the entire report section. Now that we have discussed how I created this configuration file, let's see what all things we need to do next. After creating the configuration file, we need to copy it on the appliance in /usr /tideway/data/custom/reports directory. I have already connected to the appliance, so let's copy this file here. After copying the configuration file, we need to restart the app server service. I have connected to the appliance command line, and to restart the app server service, I'm running the command tw_service_control space -- restart space app server. Restarting app server service is important because only after that the configuration file is going to be processed and the created custom charts, reports and channels will be available in the UI for further use. I'm going to hit enter to restart the service. The app server service is now restarted. Let's log into the Discovery UI again. In our configuration file, we had defined 4 custom reports and 5 channels. To add the custom reports in a dashboard, first we need to convert them in a channel. I'm going to create one channel which will include all 4 custom reports. To create the channel, let's click on the administration icon and then click on channels. Scroll down, go to the bottom, and let's select the option add report channel. We will name it something like webinar custom reports _2. Let's copy and paste the same thing in the title and in the description. Now from here, we can see all available reports. Let's search for the ones that we have created. So let's search with the prefix webinar. And we can see all 4 custom reports here. Webinar OS support details, software type count, destroyed host in last 7 days, successful host in last 7 days. So let's move all these 4 reports in the selected report section. And finally, let's click on apply. And now I'm going to show you how to add all these custom channels that we have created in a dashboard. Let's click on the home screen. And here we can see the dashboard which we created when we started this demo. Let's recreate this dashboard from scratch. So let's click on this available dashboard section and then click on this copy current dashboard option. So our dashboard is now copied. Let's click on edit. And first of all, we are going to remove all the selected channels. So let's click on deselect all. Then let's change the title of the dashboard. We will call it something like webinar custom dashboard second. And then let's search for all the channels that we have created. So we can simply start by typing webinar in the search bar and look for all the channels. So here we can see all the channels that we have created using our configuration file. Let's start by selecting the custom report 2 channel, which we just created, which include all the custom reports. And then we will select each and everything that is having webinar as a prefix. After this, let's scroll up and commit the changes. And then let's close the edit section. So our dashboard is now created with all the channel that we have configured using the configuration XML file. I have already explained all the charts that are displayed here. Let's quickly have a look to the reports that we created and see what kind of detail we are getting in the report output. Let's open all reports in different tabs. So the first report is about OS support details. And here we can see that we are getting the number of hosts, then the operating system on those hosts, and then end of support and end of life date. The second custom report that we configured was to count the software type and provide us the number. So here we can see the first column is giving us the software type, and the second column is giving us the total count of how many times these type of software instances are found during the discovery. The third report is to identify all the destroyed hosts in last 7 days. Here we can see there are 5 hosts which are destroyed in last 7 days. And finally, the fourth report is to get all the hosts which are successfully discovered in last 7 days. And here we can see the name of the host, the operating system of the host, and the last time when they were successfully discovered. This concludes the demo on custom reports, charts, and dashboards. BMC Support has created several troubleshooting guides based on commonly raised support cases. In our documentation, you can look for troubleshooting section to find these guides. Now let's talk about a common issue that you might face while working with custom reports. Let's see what to do when you cannot find the created custom reports in available reports when editing or creating a channel. The most probable root cause for this issue would be the configuration XML file is not copied in /usr tideway data custom reports directory on the appliance. The app server service is not restarted after copying the XML file, or the XML file is not correctly written. To fix this issue, make sure to copy the XML file in the correct directory on the appliance and then restart the app server service. If still the same issue, you can review the tw_appserver.log to check if there is an issue while parsing the configuration XML file. The next common issue is the error "This system is having technical difficulties with this page reported" when saving a custom channel which contains custom reports. This error is usually reported when the report name in the XML file contains a space. For example, if you give the report name something like this, webinar space OS space details, then the report will get saved and you would be able to see that when creating a channel. But after adding this report into the channel, when you click on apply, the above error will be reported. To fix this issue, check the report and chart name in the XML file and make sure that they do not contain any space. For example, you can name the web report something like this: webinar.os.details. Here are some references to the topic Discovery Reporting Query Best Practices that we covered in this webinar series. The first knowledge article talks about how to create custom reports chart and add those in a dashboard. The second knowledge article talks about what kind of data store or database used by BMC Discovery. The third knowledge article talks about how to write a generic search query to query the data from Discovery Data Store. The fourth knowledge article talks about how to schedule a query using cron and send the output via email. And the last knowledge article talks about how to query shadow copy to troubleshoot discovery CMDB sync related issues. Here is the summary of what we discussed today. We discussed the out of the box reports, channels, and dashboard, and the steps to customize these. We discussed the steps to troubleshoot a common issue. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for your time. Greg, over to you.
Thank you. And now I'll take us through the self-help in contacting BMC. The YouTube channel where this webinar will be posted is listed here. It contains past webinars as well as a rich set of how-to videos. The Connect with BMC Helix ITSM and Remedy webinar schedule is available at this community's link. As always, contacting technical support via web, phone, email, and these social channels is available. At this time, that will conclude this webinar. Thank you for attending.